good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is a Sunday. We are blessed to have this opportunity to just continue the conversation. Of course, more of what we are discussing here is how politics is influencing our daily lives and how the leadership of the Republic of Kenya are also influencing the development of the Kenyan economy. With me here is Miguda. I'll give him a chance to say hi before I let Miguda come. Allow me take this opportunity to to welcome our good friend Gypsy Corner. Gypsy Corner, thank you so much for finding time to join us. You actually joined almost 40 minutes ago, 40 or 30 minutes ago, and you've been consistent. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us. We really appreciate. And over here, we're also saying happy Sunday. To our viewers, this is for the Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you're watching for the first time, kindly like and subscribe to the channel. It is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Miguda, I'll give you a chance to say hi before we proceed, and tuambie siku yako imekuwaje, weekend imekuwaje?
Asante sana kakangu Mark. Ningependa kusema mimi weekend yangu imekuwa poa, nimekuwa mzima, niko mzima, nimekuwa poa sana na nashukuru Mungu. Nimekamilisha weekend vizuri. Na pia ningependa kukaribisha rafiki yetu Gypsy Corner. Umesema amekuja mapema, lakini unajua sijamuona for the last 1 week. Sijalipotea wapi. For the last 1 week I've never seen any comment from the comment section. So actually we have missed Gypsy Corner, and it's good now amerudi. So Makobura, I think we are good to go, and also I want to welcome other people who will be watching and the people who will be watching in the future.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda, for giving us telling us how your weekend vile weekend yako imekuwa. Allow me to say hi to Judith as well at the comment section, and anybody will be joining us, feel free. This is for the Benson Media, and there we say that your opinion counts. Yeah, so Miguda, I'll just get straight to the discussion today, and just as the topic goes, Gachagua, Kalonzo, Matiangi, they are uniting the opposition, and of course they are doing so because they are about to face the by-election in several constituencies, around 8 constituencies. I mean 7 constituencies in the entire country, and around 22 county and around, I think it's 22 if I'm not wrong, county assembly positions which were also left vacant. So my question to you, Mr. Miguda, is remember the government side, of course, together with the Raila Odinga's support, they're also ganging up to, to protect their political, their political areas or constituencies. That brings me to this question. What are your expectations, Mr. Miguda, about the by-elections which are coming?
By-elections are test of waters, whereby political parties must compete for the preparation of the general election. At by-election, you are able to know the mood of the ground, you are able to understand your popularity, you are able to understand whether you are making progress as a political party or not. That's why it is always prudent for each and political party to participate in by-election. And I like the fact that you understand DCP has tried to confront more candidates because he's a new kid in town and you need to understand how the terrain works. So it's very important for us to analyze from the outcomes of the by-elections. But I can just promise you there are some areas which are dominantly stronghold of certain political parties like Kasipul Kebondo and Ogonja. Those are going to be taken by ODM. We have competitive by-election at Malava, and also we wish that the DCP, the UDA, the ODM, they should struggle, because you understand ODM and UDA are in broad-based government, but they are fronting candidates. DCP and DAP are in opposition, but they are fronting candidates. So it's going to be very, very much interesting in that Malava. Then you find out at Mbere North constituency, the UDA candidate has already been declared, and he has got support from other three people who are competing, and the patron is Kindiki. But we also have a DCP party, the guy for Gachagua. And it's going to be very interesting, because I want to understand, I want to know the strength of Gachagua in Mount Kenya. That one I'm following very closely, vis-a-vis the one at Malava. But these local ones, we understand they are going to be taken by local political parties. But to me, in my understanding, it is good for people to go for elections for a test of the political party strength, and also whether people are quitting or people are aligned to the new political party.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda. And Gypsy Corner was here saying that uh, both Team Gachagua 1 term and Team Ruto 2 term are playing a smart political game, which most public members have mastered. Gypsy Corner is going ahead and saying that there is a fallout in DCP and Kenya Kwanza. Kenya Kwanza stroke ODM, a lot of compromises behind the scenes. Kenya is comfortably by the oligarchs, not for the normal public. Okay. Thank you so much, Gypsy Corner, for your comment. And he's also saying that since the death of Ongondo Were, his area is on the map and everyone is watching due to fast track and nepotism. Okay. Thank you so much. Miguda, on what is happening on the opposition side? So far, of course, we've seen quite a number of politicians. Of course, on the side of the position where we have Rigathi Gachagua, we have Kalonzo Musyoka, we have Eugene Wamalo, among others. And remember, these are people who are united, and they're coming with their different political parties. The question then we are asking ourselves is, how is it going to be possible for these politicians coming with different political parties unite and possibly work together to ensure that they produce a candidate that is squarely coming from the opposition side? Because so many times we've been in Kenya, and most of the time we've seen political parties coming up with a formula of trying to consolidate or trying to get to win the political seats. But most of the time, we've seen whenever there are differences between the political parties, they've all fielded um, participants. And so the question we are then asking is, uh, how possible is it? How is it going to be possible for them to come up with a formula of uniting, a formula of ensuring that, when they go for election, all those political parties who are within the opposition side are able to come up and say that we are supporting one person, not really looking at the other political parties, but supporting one so that they ensure that they win the seats. a good example of what we saw. You remember during the last general election when ODM had their own candidate, Wiper had their own candidate, and negotiations were not easy. They were unable to negotiate and come up with a formula that would then help them come up with one particular candidate, a candidate who then carry the umbrella of the opposition. And that, of course, really made it tough. And that is one of the reasons why, there was so many conflict within the opposition side, and majority of those political parties were unable to actually get the right political seats. On the same thing, I think we are seeing it in the government side, or those people who are supporting the government. That is the UDA and their close ally ODM. These are big political parties, but remember again that there are quite a number of by-elections which are supposed to be coming. If you remember, part of around 3 out of 7 constituencies were left vacant, like the Kasipul Kabondo, the member of parliament there was an ODM member. Remember the appointment of uh, the cabinet secretary in charge of energy, who was also coming from Ugunja. After his appointment, of course, the seat became vacant, and that, of course, was also a constituency that ODM had. And not just that, there is Magarini. Magarini was also for ODM, if I'm not wrong. And so, how is it? The question we're asking is, how is it going to be possible for this particular union between the ODM, between the opposition side, coming together to ensure that they take or they work together to ensure that they win these general elections? But again, this is going to be a test for the opposition side, those who believe in one term, against those people who believe that the president is doing well and he should be given the second term. Miguda, I think you had a problem with the network. Can you give us your take on first the differences that you're seeing on the position, where, for example, there was an appointment of the former member of parliament, Mukisa Kitui, to lead on matters of as a spokesperson, and also on matters of helping the united opposition to come up with a structured way and coming up again with the flag bearer for that particular seat. But again, that has come out and has been seen differently with some members, where the deputy party leader of DCP is also coming out to say that the kind of movement that they are fighting for currently, it is one that should welcome so many young youths. And in his take, he's saying that it is not proper for the opposition to give a chance to Mukisa Kitui as the head of possibly the communication team, and also heading the team that is going to decide on who is going to be the flag bearer. Not just that, we've seen some problems, of course, within the DAP Kenya, and not just that, we've seen among all these political parties in opposition, they both want to field candidates in certain, positions. What is your take, and how is that going to affect the union and possibly the working together of the opposition parties, not just within the opposition, but remember, there's also a union between ODM and UDA. What is your take?
If you can hear me, I'm back. I'm saying first, I've had Leo Malala trying to complain about the issue that the people in the opposition are not giving youthful people opportunity to participate in the political discourse of the country. But Gachagua today has come out to defend the fact that even though in the composition of the youthful people, they need at least some veterans or some people who are a bit experienced in politics for a matter of guidance and a matter of principality. And that's why they settled for Mukisa Kitui. That one, I think it is a good thing because it can't be a one man show. It should be inclusive in the gender, age, whatever the measurement of inclusivity can be measured. It should be that way. I support that one, that people should be included. It can't be a one man show. But you understand also, Clemonara is coming from Western, and Mukisa Kitoi as well is coming from Western. Maybe the political of the region can play, whereby you might want to be the sole messiah from a certain region, and anyone who is coming to be seen as a figure in your coalition is a threat to your union. So you must always defend your position. That one might play in the case of Cleo Malala. It's using the young people as a defender factor. But remember, Mukisa Kitui was appointed the spokesperson of the secretariat, and the secretariat's role are well outlined. One of the role is to ensure that they come out with a candidate who is or a formidable formula that can send William Ruto home. I think by Mukisa Kitui being the spokesperson, he has not interfered with the structure of the DCP party. He has not interfered with the structure of Wiper party. It's just in the secretariat docket whereby the key decisions, the think tank, revolves around the secretariat. That's why Cleo Malala should calm down and should go slow in this matter, other than trying to chase Mukisa Kitui. So you want to be the only person from Western region associating himself with the DCP boss, Gachagua, and associating himself with the secretariat. I think the issue of selfishness, because Gachagua is a public figure, no one has got the monopoly to interact with him. Anybody can interact. I saw him with the Goda Wamgode. I saw him with the Kelly Songa Songa. It should be that way. You should not be the only person coming from Western region associating yourself with the Gachagua. Then anybody who is being brought even through legal process, you are against that person. That one is very wrong. The issue in ODM and UDA, I believe that there's still a problem. But remember, every election, we usually have a new political party, the ones which have won elections. ODM has been there for quite long because they have never won election. That's why they keep on coming. That's why they keep on coming back. That's why they have a comeback each and every election. But the moment they will win election, that's how they will see them disappearing in town. So I believe that there is going forward, alignments are going to be there, realignment, and also people can shift, come from different color that comes. But most importantly, the people who are in government currently, the ODM people, are not going to quit. They are not ready to lose whatever they are getting right now. So it's up to the rebels or the people who have different opinion, the minority, to look whom they want to associate with. Either they toe the line or they associate themselves with the opponent. I think that is the opinion I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda. And we've seen, of course, quite a number of disagreement and political differences. For example, in the Mount Kenya region, we have quite a number of, but the Mount Kenya region has, among the regions of the Republic of Kenya, Mount Kenya has the many political parties. And remember, from my understanding, they are all against the president. You remember the Jubilee Party, the DCP Party, the PLP, remember the DP, remember Usawa Party, remember the one of the former governor of Meru, Mwangaza, remember one for the former governor, of course, of Meru again, the former cabinet secretary in charge of agriculture, Munya, remember the Mbas, and all these political parties, majority of them are against the president. Now the question I'm asking you tonight is, with these political parties, as much as well they're against a certain political party, they are against the ruling political party. How is it, Mr. Miguda? How are they going to manage? For example, we know there is a by-election in Mbeere North. Is it Mbeere North, where CS Ruku used to represent, and he was appointed before he was appointed as a cabinet secretary. All these political parties have shown interest in fielding a candidate in that respect. I mean, in that particular uh, constituency. The question I'm asking you is, with all these many political parties in the opposition, but again, we have to say that there it seems to be that they are all having different views, different interests. Why is it that they're not working together? And with them not working together, are they really going to ensure that they weed out the UDA in the Mount Kenya region now that they are all against, the ruling party, that is the UDA, Mr. Miguda? And, how is this affecting the union, whether on this opposition side or the government side? Because if you remember what used to happen during the union between ODM and Wiper, among others, you'll find that part of the reason why the last general election, the Kenya Azimio la Umoja lost quite a number of seats because in one constituency, all the affiliate parties were, presenting and giving tickets to their political candidates. How are they going to manage in this situation? The opposition side, not just the opposition side, even ODM together with the UDA, among others, to ensure that they come up with a procedure of working together and possibly supporting one of the affiliate parties within the opposition.
I think that is the headache of the politicians. That is their own headache. That's their own problem. But what I want to recognize, or I want to record, is that Kenya, as a state, we are multi-party democracy. And we are a state whereby we are fond of many political parties. Many political parties in Mount Kenya is as a recognition of our constitution, and also it's a recognition of the state we are, that we are not a single party state. We are a multi-party democracy state, and Mount Kenya is never an exception. And also I've seen other political affiliates in the UD and ODM arena, whereby the one for NDS is there. There are so many political parties within the region. So I believe that as a people, as a Kenyan people, we are free to do our politics. We are at liberty to be in a political parties. But if you look at it critically, there are certain political parties in the Kenya region which are sponsored by William Ruto, because the divide and rule game is going on. And that's why you saw people like Indiki defending the Mbeere North constituency with the UDA candidate. But that's part of the politics. And we have said before, it doesn't matter how you play your politics. It is not a crime for William Ruto to front many political parties in Mount Kenya. It isn't a crime. That is part and parcel of the politics. There are people who like to play divide and rule. But the issue of multi-party democracy, it is recognized and I support it. No one should limit you to have a political party that we must be in DCP. All of us must be DCP. So if my ideology doesn't align with your ideology, must you coerce me to be the DCP? I have a political right, just like you, to associate with whoever I feel like I'm connected with politically. I have a political right to associate with any political party. No one was crucified in the DCP. The same way we are saying, no one is crucified in ODM and UDA. If you feel like you are not comfortable within the party, you can quit. And you saw people were advising even Philip Aroko why are you wasting your time in the ODM by-election? And it is crystal clear that the Kasipul Kabondo ODM candidate is the son to the deceased Ongondo Were's son, Boyd Were. And we have seen people going to campaign for him. The other day, I saw Farouk Kibet. So it means is UDA ODM are supporting that Gen Z. It is high time we open our eyes and say, okay, if I'm not recognized as a certain political party, I have that right to form mine or associate with anybody. And also, there's no political party for a certain people that we, the Gikuyu, our party is DCP. Who is the party leader? That party leader. The people, Gikuyu can decide to have Jubilee. They can decide to have the Upia. They can decide to have Usawa. So I don't want people to interfere with the issue of multi-party democracy, and also I don't want people to intimidate that you must associate with a political party. That one should come to an end. We should live in a free society, democratic, whereby I associate with whoever I want to associate with. I form political parties whereby if my ideologies are aligning with yours, I can. And also that's why we end up with that party hopping. No one is crucifying DCP or ODM. The other day the president was in ODM, he went to UDM, he went to URP, he went to Jubilee. Today he's in UDA, and the coming election is going to have a different party. That's how it should be. That right of flexibility, not rigidity, and also intimidation and threatening people that you must belong to this political party. You must belong to DCP. That DCP is for Mount Kenya people. Anybody who's from the political party is not DCP. But remember, the person telling you that DCP, the Mount Kenyan party, is a close associate to Martha Karua, who is also having a different political party. But he's not telling Martha Karua to follow this political party. He's not telling other people that you must follow a political party to have one political party. But Martha Karua should be the first person following the political party. So we must understand each other that eras whereby people used to intimidate people or coercing people are gone. And we must live in the reality that if I feel like ODM is not going to favor me in primaries, like what Manibiora has done, anza na independent mapema. Because why must you waste your money, your time, your resources? Then it's obvious that they are going to give the boy the way. I think Makubura just want to conclude by saying multi-party should be there, party association and affiliation should be there without any measurement.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to take this opportunity to welcome our good friend, Mr. Barak. Barak, karibu sana. Karibu Brother Benson Media, na utuambie umeshindaje. And as you come, kindly give us your take on what you think about, the union which we are seeing on the opposition side. And again, on the government side, we are seeing Raila Odinga, the party leader of ODM, together with the president, are also trying to ensure that they safeguard what we can call as their political constituencies. They're coming up with formulas of ensuring that as they go through the by elections, they are going to work together and possibly, support one candidate, a candidate of one of the political parties that are joined or that are in one camp. We are seeing the same being said on the opposition side, but again, on the opposition side, we are still seeing quite a number of unsettled minds where the DAP are saying that they're going to field, the the DCP are going to field, and that might, of course, make them lose that particular seat. The question I'm asking you tonight, Brother Barak, is we've seen such moves. Remember what happened during the 2022 general election, where Azimio had the many small political parties coming together, and all those political parties failed candidates, and that actually made them to lose quite a number. seats that there's a possibility they would have won. We saw the side of UDA and their team, they were somehow united and somehow working together and coming up with formulas on how they were moving and fielding their political aspirants. The question I'm asking you is, are you seeing a possibility of this happening, or the kind of excitement that you're seeing among the DCP and all these other parties, how is that going to affect their decision making, Mr. Barak?
Jambo Bwana Mark and Miguda. Nice to see you. Good evening Gypsy Corner. Ulikuwa umepotea sana. Nice to see you back. Yes, I'm having a great weekend and I'm so happy to join. About your question, Bwana Mark, there's a scholar who said that the human being and the nature of human being is that it is inherently selfish and self-seeking. And if you look at the realist theory, they believe that the human being, this is the nature of a human being, is that they are self-seeking and they are very selfish, and they usually pursue their self-interest. And sometimes they relate that to a state. Now, it idealists will want to argue that the way my brother Miguda has just said, that multi-party should thrive in an environment where nobody is intimidated, nobody is forced or boxed in a corner that you have to belong to this particular party because you come from this particular region. Idealists will want to argue that that is how it should be. But you know, idealism is what ought to happen, but now realism is what is happening. Now the reality is that Kenya political parties have their what they refer to as the political bedroom, and they really want to fight so hard to ensure that they protect their political bedroom. Sometimes they call it stronghold. That is why if you listen to politicians, they will tell you that this area our party is DCP, this area our party is ODM, this area our party is UDA, this area our party is so and so, simply because they want to box people from that specific region into a corner in believing that that area they have to vote in a specific political party. But now, the challenges of coalitions, you mentioned very well that in 2022, Azimio lost seats because they were fielding so many candidates. Now, it was not only in 2022, even if you look at 2017, the NASA coalition, they lost some seats, yeah, including Langata here because of fielding different candidates. And even if you look at those are what we call politics of coalitions. Managing coalition is not very easy because of the nature of human beings. You are telling a politicians to step down, and he's a selfish human being that is self-seeking, that is pursuing their selfish interest. My friend, it is not easy to convince a politician to step down, and you are not promising them anything. Yeah, you know, normally, if you look at the coalition, the build-up of 2022 election, you remember even Ngilu was promised that she will be given a job kule juu huko chini awachie Malombe, and she stepped down. She didn't vie for, she didn't defend her seat. But because those promises sometimes can give the politicians hope that okay, let me just step down, nitapewa maybe nomination ama nitapewa kazi vile nani Kindiki amefanya kule Mbeere. Convinced the opponents of the UDA candidate to step down because he will give them a job somewhere, and because you know he's in government, he's the second in command, wao watamwamini kwa sababu kwa serikali. But now, how will DCP convince another guy to step down in favor of a DP candidate? Wanampatia nini? They are not in government, so they are not giving anything. And so convincing this guy to step down, and yet there is nothing he's being promised, it is not easy because every politicians want to pursue their own selfish interest. So that is the challenge of managing coalition. It is not unique with this by-election. It has been there. Yeah, it has been there since this coalition politics started in 2002. It was there. You remember in 2002, if you look at the, I know you can't, maybe you look at into the books and read how nominations were managed in Nairobi. There are because there were two equal very powerful political parties. One was called NAK, led by Kibaki, Gilu, and Wamalwa, and this other side was LDP, led by Raila, the likes of Red Gum, and so on and so forth. So in Nairobi, they had to balance, because Nairobi then had 8 constituencies. So they had to balance to fill candidates where they feel they are very strong. And Nairobi, and they had to divide Nairobi into 4-4. Now, Westlands constituency, where Fred Gumu was an LDP member and was very strong, and Betty Tate was an NAK member and very strong, a very strong ally of Kibaki. They had to tell her to step down because so that she will be nominated in parliament, because the end goal was to reach parliament. And so she stepped down because she was promised a nomination, which they did nominate her. So you can only convince a politician to step down when you are promising something to them, and they are convinced that they're going to get what they're being promised. Yeah. So in this by-election, you will see many problems in the on the united opposition, because they have nothing to offer apart from that candidate who is vying. Maybe they give him a ticket, but in terms of government position, even in nomination in parliament, they don't have that. So itakuwa ngumu kwao to step down for now. So that's why we will see them akinyimwa denomination anaenda independent. Yeah. So this agreeing to field a single candidate as a united opposition is going to be tricky. Now, on the other hand, if you look at the Ruto and Raila, obvious, we understand that Kasipul, Kabondo, and Ugunja, their ODM is going to field their candidate without any struggle, because those are what they refer to as their stronghold. Now, come to a constituency like ile iko kule juu inaitwa nini, where the MP was knocked by a motorbike, Banisa. Yeah, you know, Banisa is a neutral ground. It's a neutral constituency where there's no political party that can say this is our stronghold. So how will they manage nomination in such a constituency? Will they go with every political party will fill their own, or will they go there as a team? Because I know even in Baringo is in stronghold ya UDA, so UDA itaanza kwenda kusumbana UDA kule Baringo watu wana field candidate. So these are politics of coalitions, and coalitions are very fragile. You will see people agreeing, others are opting out because they feel that their interests are not taken care of. But normally, it is very easy to manage coalition when you are in government and you have position that can offer these individuals, as opposed to when you are in the opposition and you have nothing to offer. So they will be fighting and fighting and fighting, and they'll end up fielding candidates, almost all of them, and finally they will end up losing, and they'll start blaming each other, because that is the nature of politics. So I think that as I finish, I think I agree that nobody should be stopped from vying, because it is their constitutional right. You have a democratic right to vie, you have a democratic right to vote, and you also have a democratic right to participate in any election in any way. So it is within their democratic right to vote or to vie. So people should be allowed to exercise that right. But you know, once you deny people their rights, and yet we are saying that we are in a democracy, then it becomes a problem, because we are not promoting the democracy that we are claiming that we are a democratic state. So people should let them lose at the ballot, let them lose at the nomination, let them lose in, but no, don't deny them that chance, that right, because it is a fundamental right of every citizen to participate in any democratic process, and one of them is vying for political seats. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, and I think that brings me to this question before we move to the next topic. the union between ODM and the UDA. So far, we are seeing them working together. And the question I'll ask you, Meguda, is are you seeing a possibility? Because up to this particular moment, we've seen close arrangement within the ODM and UDA working together and coming up with strategies. And again, the president has also maintained consistent visit to Nyanza region. And if you look at the other political parties and all those political leaders that Raila worked with, they are firmly in the opposition and they're strategizing. Actually, it is. If you saw, if you watched news, or I think it's NTV, is it NTV or KTN? Did give some synopsis of what might be happening behind the scene, where there's a possibility of Kalonzo Musyoka being um the flag bearer of the position. And of course, there is Dr. Matiangi as the deputy and Rigathi Gachagua as the prime cabinet secretary, with Martha coming as the speaker of the National Assembly, Eugene Wamalo as the speaker of the Senate, and Muturi as the AG. On the other side, uh, normally we've been in Kenya, we've seen how politics is played. Normally we would see Raila on the position and him, coming up with such structures. This time around, he's still on the side of the government and is no longer actively or taking part in the opposition. That brings me to this question. Could it be that Raila Molo Odinga with the ODM has decided to work together fully towards the next general election with the UDA? And if so, who then will they pick as the deputy? Because we understand that the president has to reseek for his re-election. That would mean that there is a possibility on the side of the ODM. The question I'm asking you is, how will that math be played if we look at the Mount Kenya region? Majority, of course, from the Mount Kenya region, being that we've seen how Kenyan politics are more or are based on tribal thinking or tribal arithmetic. It would not be easy for the president to pick um, a deputy from the Mount Kenya region. How is he going to balance this in the next general election? Mr. Miguda, you'll give us your take on that, and Barack will also give us his take on that. And I was forgetting the former member of Parliament of Rongo, uh, also a former cabinet secretary during the reign of the late President Kibaki, Dalmas Otieno. He died today, and it is being said that amekuwa akiugua. And of course, this evening, that news was released. We've seen quite a number of politicians giving or sending their condolences. We too over here, as the Benson Media, we're also taking the opportunity to condole with the family and to just pray for them that as they are going through these tough moments, they might get a consolation from God. I'll also give you a chance, Miguda, to give us your synopsis of what you know, of course, about that certain former member of parliament of Rongo and a cabinet secretary. So those two questions, you'll give your take on that and the take on the union between ODM and UDA towards the general election. Miguda?
Okay, thank you. Let me begin with the last one. Then I'll finish with the one for ODM and UDA going forward. First, I want to join Kenyans to convey my condolence to the deceased, Dalmas Otieno Anyango. And I just want to say it is always sad to lose one in the family, and you understand how painful the family is feeling right now. And Dalmas goes beyond his family. He was once an area member of parliament. He was once a minister in this country. And it goes beyond his constituency, Rongo. Initially it used to be Rongo, but it was divided into Rongo and Awendo. So the people of Awendo are mourning, the people of Rongo are mourning, and also the Migori County people are mourning, and other Kenyans and international people, because he served very effectively. I just watched his interview 4 days ago. I think he was interviewed on a local media like this one of ours, and he gave us a very good history of where he came from, the father, the grandfather, and their youthful time and their time in politics. And the interesting part of it, because they've asked me to give you synopsis, and I want to give you from whatever I heard from him. He was a very good friend to the late CS Oyujo Gango, if you know Oyujo Gango. And actually, it is Oyujo Gango who brought him to politics. And I want to acknowledge and appreciate the friendship of the old people, because Oyugi was the provincial administration. He was the PC in Nakuru, and he was very close to Moi. So after realizing that in their village, there is a certain person who has studied very well. They are not even their family, but they are friends. So he called Almas. They went to Nakuru. So they used to move with Moi. The way PC used to move with Moi. Like right now, how Raymond Omolo is moving with William Ruto, and how Kibicho was moving with Uhuru Kenyatta. So in this process, Oyujo Gango said that he will not abandon his role for PEC to join politics. Then he extended an olive branch to Dalmas, and actually I think maybe the other time he gave him money to campaign, and that's how he got into politics. Initially, he was a business person who was shareholders. He was having a lot of shareholders in the companies they were doing. They were doing with the other colleagues, and I think when now Oyugi became the PS for Moi, he remained in politics and also later became the minister. So what I've learned from that leader is that friendship should go beyond what you are, because if there is any opportunity in life, and in our generation it doesn't happen. If there's anything in life, and that so and so is capable of doing that thing, kindly give that person reference, because through reference, today we are mourning a minister, we are mourning an MP, because of that good rapport they had with when they were in their boyhood. And I believe, Makubura, even you, if you have any opportunity or you hear anything somewhere, kindly refer to your friends, because you never know. Maybe it can bring change. And you understand, when Dalmas he was in the National Assembly, there's some legislation he contributed to, and also there's some proposal he brought. And actually, he got a good idea. But now the culture of our politics, the politics of our culture, the nature of our politics made it hard for him to implement certain things. And when I was hearing from him, he actually insisted on companies, because we are the nature of our politics, particularly the region where we are coming from. People tend to believe that it is only through education. That's the only way. Without education, we are dead. So he was saying, because we don't have, and also we don't have money. So it was very prudent for the people to have companies, and also people to bring in their shares, so that small amount of money, when you brought them together, they're going to bring more money. So with that, people could have create jobs, employment, and so on and so forth. So it's very unfortunate to lose such a person, but now you understand that he passed out when he was 8 years old. Age has come, and that's the nature of life. He has done, I think he did the best. That's the best he could live. There was no any other best he could have ever lived in this life, even if it could be other more years. So that's how life is. And we just join the family to convey condolences. And also want to tell you that me personally, I have had an opportunity to meet him, and I've also visited him in his rural home. And I know some few friends. I know the sons, Eddie. The one we are close to is Eddie, but he has many sons. So Eddie is someone we are known to, and we have also conveyed our condolence. And I think I'll be there during the burial, because the son has always been with us, even as when we had, like during COVID-19, we lost family member. The son came during we have had like I think 3 funerals in a row from 2020. The son came, and the son has always supported us financially, and it is always prudent that even when we are not having a good rapport with the father, but once a friend or a friend, so I think we are also going to support them in our capacity, and also I will be there, Makubura, to represent you people, because they are part and parcel of our family, and you know this story very well. Now, to answer the question of the question of the question of ODM and UDA, in my view, ODM, the, there is invisible ODM, and this invisible ODM are the ones which are making decisions. The invisible ODM has decided they're going to work with William Ruto. Rather, we take instruction from them. And from the look of things, because I'm also in the ground, Ruto is delivering in Nyanza. If you read the previous budget, the one we passed the other day, the allocations, the roads which were allocated, the markets, the stadiums, and they told us that by August, that is last month, we will be seeing contractors. Today I've just heard that there is a contractor that way to Ongondo's Were home, Karabok Road. There's a certain contractor in Siaya. There's a certain contractor in Migori. There's a certain contractor on your way to Sori, actively on the ground doing the work. And the one from Gendia to Kadongo is complete. How can you abandon that person? Honestly speaking, because it will come to you people that Karabok, Kadongo, the way you narrate them, and they're completely remember. Remember, even the stadium in Migori is current now is under construction, and the contractor is on site. And I think I shared it, but based on those clips. So I don't want to lie to myself, because it's very good to speak the truth sometimes. Always, not sometimes. I don't see ODM going to quit UDA, because that invisible ODM, they're going to support William Ruto. And that's why Gachagua has moved on and said, Raila kaa huko hatukutaki, because he's convinced there's no way Raila is going to work with the opposition. And the reason is, even though they're saying nationally, but I can say William Ruto has tried to allocate. The ones I'm able to see and I'm able to confirm, they are on. So look at the current leaders, the Migori governor, Mobi governor, Sia governor, and the incoming Kisumu governor. They are all linking to William Ruto. And look at what's happening right in the by-election. If you saw Farouk Kibet endorsing Boyd Were, Farouk Kibet is Ruto. Ruto is Farouk Kibet. So how is it possible that Farouk Kibet are not going to work with Raila Odinga? And Farouk Kibet has shifted. They are nowadays in Nyanza province, particularly. The other time when they wanted Mount Kenyan votes, they were in Mount Kenya. Every Sunday, nowadays, every Sunday they don't go to Mount Kenya. So that question is well answered by the current action that ODM and UD are working together. They say they will sit down in 2027. I think they will still work together, even if that's a running mate, because they can decide to have some cabinet slots. They can increase more people. So that one is, I think that's done deal. People like Umologa, the PS for Health, those people are going to. No, Raila. Raila has one thing: persuasion. If you can persuade him that you are doing the right course, Raila will have no issue with you. And these people have learned it. And that's why when the other time Ruto went for Raila, he persuaded Raila that Raila, for the sake of the country, come, we have a structured MOU. And so okay, because that one you can persuade him. So he was persuaded. And these people will persuade him, Raila, we have seen this, we have seen this, we have seen this, we have seen this. And this person, we never voted for him. And actually there's a stadium, there's a Although it's their rights, but the question is, we have had many presidents in this country, but even that evolution was there in 2010, but they never saw so much input into their region. So that question is well answered, that these people are going to support William Ruto. But what I like, what I'm glad with currently, is that multi-party democracy, whereby right now you can oppose Raila, but no one will beat you, no one will threaten you. You know, initially in 2007, there were people whom their houses or homes were burnt down into ashes because of affiliation to PNU. But that one is gone. People are free to criticize Raila, and you saw them. They are criticizing Raila left, right, and center. But the leadership structure of the ODM are not going to leave William Ruto. And William Ruto also is not sleeping. He's doing all what humanly possible to make sure that he swept the Luo votes. Now coming to the issue of opposition, which you have asked me. Opposition, they understand themselves very well. But in that opposition, there are people you cannot trust. People like Kalonzo can leave you in your 12th hour. People like Kalonzo, they have done this thing before, and the history is very much important. At the time of need, you know what happened in 2007. At the time of need, you know what happened during the mock swearing in. At the time of need, they can abandon you. So I think Kalonzo Musyoka cannot be trusted into that opposition. He can quit anytime. Very much possible. You saw them, the way he was struggling to defend the land, the NYS land which he was given by Moi, because that is the only thing they will pin him down. That with Richard Chamberlain, and if you go to court, then all of a sudden he will submit to the status quo. So I think opposition. The only thing I'm seeing opposition is one thing, Makubura. Before I hand my mic back to Barack. In the net opposition, personally, I have a problem at personal level because we have Ithika Linturi, Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, JB Muturi. 4 principles from one region. Really? Why can't you just have one principle and the rest to submit to the one principle? Then that one is not even important. What is important is the formation which you have just stated, that speaker position, both national and Senate respectively, the AG. Let me focus on the AG. JB Muturi was an AG in Ruto's government. If I could be JB, if right now I'm the AG, why should I get out of government to go and be in opposition to come back as an AG in the next government? So I said, if I can quit AG, then I'll be coming back maybe like a president or deputy president. That one I can do. But why must I leave AG then come back as AG? Doesn't make sense. Why should Ithika Linturi quit as CS then come back as CS? Some of these things to me, they don't add up. Like I was in parliament for many years. I even chaired the committees. Then you are bringing back to be speaker like Wetangula. So to me, if I must quit government or opposition and join the other party, it is always prudent to understand that if I was CS today for treasury, why should I quit government to become the CS treasury in the next government? I should come back as the deputy president. That's how I understand this thing. If I was the majority leader, why should I quit government to come back as majority leader again? I should come back as CS or maybe the president. So even if you want to make these structures, like Fred Matiangi, why must you bring Fred Matiangi? Then you want to endorse him as the CS for internal security, as a CS for anything. He has been a CS with the Uhuru Kenyatta. You need to improve, maybe as a deputy president or president. That's how I'm viewing it. But this formula, there are some. I don't think they can be some. It can be sponsored, but if that's the case, then I could have advised that to me, even when I was the lecturer or the teacher. when I want to get transfer or promotion, I want to be the deputy principal or the principal or senior lecturer or dean of the student. So I improve bit by bit, but I don't see a sense whereby I'm quitting AG in Ruto's government, then I go outside, I make noise, we form government, then I'm rewarded with AG. It doesn't make sense to me.
Thank you, Mr. Miguda. Barak, maybe you can give us your take on the two matters, the passing of the former member of parliament, and also your take on the possibility of UDA working with ODM in the next general election.
Well, let me start by extending my condolence to the family and friends of the late honorable member, Bwana Dalmas Otieno. I think it is he died at 80, so I think he should be celebrated for his contribution to the socio-economic and political development of the country and also of the people of Rongo. I think he's one of the independent-minded leaders that emerged from Luo Nyanza, having suffered at the hands of ODM also. So, in ODM, if you're coming from Luo Nyanza as a politician and you dare go against ODM, ODM can be very ruthless to you. And I think Mheshimiwa served the country when he got the opportunity to serve as the minister for, I think, public works or something, public service under the Nusumkati government. So we celebrate his life and his contribution to the development of this country, and also his role as a member of parliament from Rongo. He really played a significant role in advocating for the development of his people. Well, the possibility of ODM working with the UDA, I think that is Miguda has really covered it very well. That it is like 100% sure that they are going to work together, because the goodies are too much for them to turn their backs on. And I think even logically, you don't expect them to walk out of the government to go and oppose the same government, knowing very sure that they are not going to defeat the same government they are going to oppose. So since Ruto invited them and now they are in, it is just prudent that they remain with the government. Let them fail together if they are failing together. If they are going to fail, let them fail together instead of walking out. Then Ruto works hard and maybe wins again. Then what will they tell them? What will they tell him after now winning again in 2027? He will go and now start working with other people. So wacha washikane tu mkono pamoja, wapambane, washinde kama ni kushinda ama washindwe kama ni kushindwa, because there is no point of leaving the government of Ruto. Hata inter make sense hata kidogo. So I don't think there is much to say there, because it is in the public domain. It's an open secret that they are going to work together. Let me just respond to a comment I saw here from Gypsy Corner that Gachagua, why Gachagua should compromise his candidature in favor of the united opposition. I think the Gachagua should, nobody should compromise his candidature in favor of anybody. I think wacha wanaume wamenyane tu. Whoever is the most preferred candidate should just carry the day, because I don't see the reason why Gachagua should work so hard to make the opposition very popular and very strong, only to leave the leadership to someone who is very weak and so reluctant to take the lead role in the opposition. So kila mbuzi akule kulingana na urefu wa kamba yake, because that is democracy, yeah. So we've been saying here for over time that Rigathi has really worked so hard to build his capacity in the opposition, and he has really surpassed the senior politicians like Kalonzo within the opposition. And so if you look at those opposition figures, Matiangi is trying, but I don't even know his political party. I don't know if he has one, or he's still trying to figure out which political party is going to use. So those are the issues that will derail his candidate, because you need to come up with a political party, start popularizing that political party. Right now we have by elections. He could have used that political party to try to field candidates and see how voters are going to respond to that. But you cannot just be going around. You are not even telling the people what is your political party. You are just seen with the people. You are not people. There is no clarity of purpose from you. So I think that is working against him, against Matiangi, because I don't know his political party up to now. Kama alisema basi sijasikia. Apart from the time I heard that Jubilee were trying to front him, but in Kenya, once a party has been removed from office, there is no way you will be given opportunity again using the same party. So it is wise if we could have come up with a different vehicle to use. Maybe, and try to field candidates in this by-election. Maybe from there we can try to weigh his capacity, because DCP is coming out very strongly, the fielding candidates, and you can see even they are campaigning. It's like they are already on the campaign mood, not only for the by-election but even for 2027. Yeah. So we've not seen any other political party from the opposition. Yeah. Umesikia Meguda akisema vile from the Mount Kenya region, you see Martha Karua is there with her party, JB Muturi is there with his party. Another Rigathi also, we have Andom Rigathi is the one that is trying to show that his party is very serious, fielding candidates all over. So that is the seriousness that opposition need to have. Sio kuzubaa tu ati wewe uko tu hapo tu, people are not even sure what you want, where you are heading to. So I think nobody should be stopped from vying as long as they have the capacity. That is what I think. Because this issue ya kuachiana, utapata unawachiwa, then ukishaanguka mnaanza kulaumiana. Wacha kila mtu asimame, mwenye ako na uwezo ashinde, mwenye atashindwa shauri yake. Yeah. Yeah. What's the Yeah, I also agree with you, Gypsy Corner, that Matiangi vile ana behave, he is not himself, and he has never been himself. Sangu hata akisema anataka kuwa president, he's not coming out clearly to be like someone who means what he's saying. Yeah. And we were saying that he's a project of Uhuru Kenyatta and IMF. IMF walipatia Uhuru pesa mingi sana when Uhuru was the president, and this debts that we are talking about right now, public debt, is as a result of that. And Matiangi, as we ametoka kule kwa World Bank offices, and this Bretton Woods institutions, they've really captured us as a country, and now wametuweka hapa kwa madeni, and they really want one of their agent at least to take over, so that they can really micromanage the economy the way they want. And hata ile finance bill ileta shida, it was just a product of these Bretton Woods institutions. So Matiangi, if you ask me, I don't think he has ever been himself, and he has not come out clearly to challenge the leadership of the united opposition, so that he can be considered to be their candidate. But you see, Gachagua is working so hard everywhere, akienda majuu anarudi hapa nini. So kama ata convince watu, well and good, but I don't think that he should really sacrifice on behalf, so that he can satisfy other people's political interest. Back to you, Mark.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll just finish the show and possibly proceed tomorrow. So I'll take this opportunity first to acknowledge and to say a big thank you to everyone who joined us this evening, to all those who gave us the opinion. We really appreciate. And we thank you. If you've not liked, kindly like and subscribe.
But before
Excuse me.
Mark, before Lale, let me just mention that there's some good news coming from Old Trafford that Onana has agreed to go on loan to that club in Turkey. So I think watu wa Manchester leo watalala vizuri and hizo masuara zote zimeenda. So, goal is not leaking anymore.
Okay, yeah. So I'll give you a chance, Miguda, to give your last remarks, and then Barak to give his last remarks. Then we'll close.
Let me just respond. I've just received that good news from Barack, so I think we are going not to complain anymore. We are good to go because this Premier League, this season is not a joke. This is a very competitive season. We never need people who messed us big in the last season. I think that now we are relief as fans and also as the team people. I just want to appreciate the people who came. I saw Judith Carita. Thank you for coming to the show, and also Gypsy Corner for coming, and also Yuma Kobura for hosting, Barak for coming. And I just wish you all the best. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Asante sana Miguda and Mark na wale wote ambao umetujiungana na sisi kwenye kipindi cha leo from the comment section. Thank you Gypsy Corner for showing up. And yes, we shall watch that match together, United versus Liverpool. But I think we are starting at Anfield, so itakuwa very soon, so don't worry. Hiyo siku mtaona vile Isak atawekwa kwa mfuko na the one and only Lord Maguire. So it was nice having you today. Looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Join us so that we can continue with the conversation of discussing what matters to our country. Bye bye, and may you be blessed wherever you are.
Okay, thank you so much, Barak. To Gypsy Corner, thank you so much, Gypsy Corner, for your engagement on the comment section. We really, really appreciate. Allow me to also say a big thank you to Judith for finding time to join us again this evening and for giving us your take. We really appreciate. And we hope that you'll join us again tomorrow. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening, a blessed night from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow.